Sort of like a... In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me on... Look at my Star Trek toys!
Wait for it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys. Today we have another fantastic episode of Customs with friends, old and new, all sorts of fun, exciting toys that span the scope of the Trek universe, from the very first of Trek to the Trek that literally just dropped last week. Very excited.
Oh, that's cool.
To talk about it.
Keith, people are writing... on the internets, Picard, they're crying, there's stuff, and you're telling me I can't watch it.
You 100% cannot watch Picard in any way, shape, or form until we finish the Deep Space Nine show. That's Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine, where we do full episode reviews of Deep Space Nine right here in your feed. It's really fun. If you haven't checked it out, please do. I think you will enjoy the ride. Right now, we're in season 3, so it's just getting good. Very cool. My allergies are killing me. I went outside today. It's April in 2023, if you're watching this in a different time period, and all of New Jersey is coated with about a half an inch of pollen, which means I am dying. And of course, my ex-wife's little broken chihuahua I'm taking care of while she's working. Pretzel, yeah. So Pretzel loves the sun, so she wanted to go out. She can barely walk. She has no eyesight, no teeth, very limited hearing, but decides to go out for a long walk today. And long for her is getting to the end of getting to the street and maybe walking one house over. Exactly. And today she begins her day by deciding to take a man-sized crap directly in the center of the road. Like, if the road had yellow lines, it would be smack dab right in the middle. And luckily, there's not a lot of traffic, but like, just tiny little thing. And I have to go out there with like a shovel afterwards, and it was like a whole thing. So that's how my day's going. Mike, how's your day going?
Well, Keith, to keep it on task, I wanted to let everybody know out there. We talked some point about the 2023 Prodigy figures from Playmates. I've been continuing to do my research. I put in a couple of pre-orders at various different outlets, Keith, thinking with all 3 figures at different outlets, thinking whoever sends me a shipping notification first, then I'll know. We'll know that they're in the wild. Also, friend of the channel, JD Makes, discovered that there was a soft listing on Amazon, so I checked with them. 2 of the 3 outlets I've pre-ordered with have said summer 2023, which is pretty vague. Amazon and one other outlet that I have pre-ordered with are saying May 2023, which is a little more specific and not quite summer. So...
No, coming up, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting close, but I will let you all know the second I get an email that says, hey, they're shipping, which means that we can jump on them, Keith. And we're going to start... Yeah. I'm going to jump in and start watching the show now before I get the figures so that I have a little bit of street cred.
And maybe we'll watch it together on our Patreon, which you can join at patreon.com/K&M. Spell out that and. Mike, I'm going to read these while you double check and make sure our frame rate is correct, because we're jumpy on my end, but probably not on your end. Our patrons are Brian Kaufman, Casey Clark, welcome back Jason Moe, Bren Joshua, Andrew Hayes, Jorge Navoa, and the mysterious Worf's Bootshivs, Richard Coleman, Charles Babbage, CRM Productions, Nikolai Ivanovich Lobachevsky at Grim Toys, Delusions at Noon, with contributions from JD Makes, Colin Degen, Chris Mitchell at CRM, and Pat. You can join them at patreon.com/K&M and get all sorts of chunky bonus deliciousness.
Nothing's chunky on my side, Keith. Things looking good.
Okay.
Hopefully they will stay that way.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I don't need to see me in full frame rate. I'd prefer not to see me at all. But sometimes life thrusts, life on you. So
you should have just left it at life thrusts. If you're lucky.
Aimlessly into the dark with no payoff. Oh, right. Well, if you can't support the show on the Patreon, you don't have to. You seriously don't. I'm not supporting the show. So, but you can leave a little tip with a super thanks below here on the YouTube, or at the very least, give us a like, give us a subscribe, tell a friend. I know that this community, which seems so vast, is vaster still than have discovered our
let's get some more eyeballs over. There's a corner of the fandom, Keith, that I think can be very, very opinionated, maybe with a negative connotation. I've seen some people have arguments on the Picard stuff I'm not supposed to be reading. But
Mike,
this corner of the fandom is just having fun, lots of laughs. So if you know some people on the dark side that maybe you want to steer towards the light side, feel free to do so.
Well, 100%. Yeah, somebody was saying last week about the positive nature of our show. Of course, we're positive. I think it gets lost in the world of Star Trek toys that they're toys.
Yeah, fair.
So it's okay to enjoy them. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to be positive. They're toys. Let's enjoy toys.
Even better than that, Keith, they're your toys because you made them.
Yes. Well, the custom toys, these are where it gets really, really fun. And so the first thing I want to show is a play set from our good friend and contributor, patron, Colin Degen, who has contributed a great deal to this show, who has contributed his custom TOS bridge play set.
Wow.
And it's really, really cool. And it comes from a whole bunch of different sources. So, and he wasn't entirely sure if it would count because some of the sources are commercial, some of them are not. Absolutely. The creativity
we don't have any rules.
Here is, hey, obviously we have no rules. But the creativity of combining all of these elements to create something greater than itself, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what's really fun. So here's what he said, and we've got a bunch of pictures, and we can look through them. But as he says, as you remember, I directed you to 3D Trekker, who made his beautiful custom original TOS bridge playset, which we showed a couple of episodes before. Well, before I bought mine from him, I created my own custom playset using Ultrarama action figure display stand and backdrops that I photoshopped using cardboard playset as a guide. So it photoshopped the backdrops. In addition, I created stations, the captain's chair, con, and chairs, using hallmark ornaments of the Kirk and Spock from the 90s. The nav helm console was supplied by an eBay customizer. Don't remember his name since I bought the item over a decade ago, but he did high-quality work using clay. So talk about the mixed medium here, all coming together, congealing, to make this kick-ass playset, which I think works really well as a display for all of those figures.
The blend is really well, too. Like, you're telling me that door is part of the printed backdrop, right?
That's right, yeah. So the base, the console of the front are two different things. So so the console thingy is an eBay thing. The chair and the sides were from the Hallmark things. The base, the whole thing is a Ultrarama action figure display stand, but the backdrops he photoshopped and printed. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing.
And I wish. Hey, are you the eBay person who built the con here? Let us know who you are so we can credit you for sure. But apparently built that all using clay, which, I mean, again, as usual, I don't understand. It's really cool. I'm very impressed, but it is so far above my pay grade in terms of artistic skills. But I know Colin does a lot of photography using these backgrounds here when he's documenting these figures up on the Instagram. We'll link. I think I have your Instagram. I'll link it in the show notes below so you can see all that Colin is doing with that. But in terms of integrating a whole bunch of different sources, it looks great altogether.
I don't have much to say other than it's so cool. I really have grown to fall in love with the play sets the ones 3D printed from our friends. Dazbot Toys, I have one of theirs that you gave me, which is cool. And the ones I see here, even the stuff that's like printed out and pasted on cardboard, is just adds that extra element. I'm obsessed with sort of games that look like they're in a little 3D world, and you place little things in there. VR does that very well. I loved making dioramas when I was a kid. There's just something about the tactile nature of it. Remember the old Castle Grayskull toy that was a case, but also opened up to be a He-Man playset? All that stuff, awesome.
I didn't have that one. That was too expensive. But you know what I had? I don't know. Did you ever see this one? I know that it still exists because my nephew has it. There's this little castle blocks where you build yourself a castle and you put a flag on it, and then you have like a shooter, and so you and your brother, you build your own castles designed to defend this flag, and then you have little trebuchets or whatever, and you shoot and try to knock down each other's castle, and you win by knocking down their flag first. You shoot back and forth.
That's pretty cool.
Coolest toy in history.
I wanted to get the Ninja Turtles Technodrome, which was like a big spherical thing that the bad guy Crag, one of the two, used to live in, and it was like
was it Shredder?
No, it was like he was like a brain thing. It wasn't Mother Brain.
Oh, the brain inside the giant guy. Yeah.
And it was like a $90 toy or something, and I didn't have any concept of money. I was a kid. I was like 7. And I remember begging my mom in Toys R Us for that toy. And let me tell you, Keith, that's back in the day when it was like okay to just like publicly whip your child. Not only did I not get the toy, but she carried me out of that Toys R Us kicking, screaming, and a punching. I didn't go well for me, and never got that the Aggro Crag, or what was it called, the Technodrome.
If you are a diligent connoisseur of the K&M empire, perhaps the most fun part of all of our shows are the little Rita stories that get worked in throughout. So that's your Easter egg, your little nugget for watching all of our nonsense. Is you.
Does anyone out there have the Technodrome? Because if so, I just want to see it. I want to see it in the wild. I want to know someone got it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Somebody whose parents could afford $90 in the late or early 90s, which $90 then was a lot more than it is now. Woof. All right. So
Keith, can I tell you real quick on the slide? My mom, we watched Avatar 2. It came on the streamings. You know what her review was? The Rita review. I got to start a TikTok of Rita reviews. This was just.
Did she? All right. First question: was she conscious the entire movie?
Less than 30%. Less than 30%.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So her review of the 30% of the movie she was conscious for was.
Let me go to the one. A lot of swimming around.
I feel like that's actually kind of apt, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good review, but man, you need to picture a 4'9" woman. She is 4'9". That's how much she's shrunk. Who maybe says 3 words a day, white hair like mine, and just, what did you think, Mom? The most money ever spent on a motion picture. Most money ever spent. The most, you just saw, and we saw it on Mike's Dolby Atmos theater system.
Yeah.
OLED television, the best, all for you, Mom. Popcorn, the whole thing. There's a lot of swimming around.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, when she was sleeping, they were probably just swimming back and forth like a.
To be fair, there's a lot of swimming around, so she nailed it.
Yeah.
All right. What are we doing?
Well,
playset. Here we are.
Right. Well, we're thanking Colin for this fantastic playset. Thank you for sending all of these pictures. If you have a playset that you want to send to us, send it to lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. Super, super fun. So let's move forward with so we've been TOS. Now we're going to go to the next gen movies with our next figure, Picard, in the next gen spacesuit in the 5-inch scale. Now, Mike, you might know that they did do the spacesuit in the 6-inch scale, and you manifested into reality a Worf in this spacesuit in the 6-inch scale. I believe it was JD who sent that as well. So, but that wasn't enough for JD. JD's like, hell no, we're going to put it in the 5-inch scale, and here it is using the 2022 figures.
That's awesome.
As the baseline from our good friend JD Makes. You can check out his channel and links below in the feed here.
Keith, you want to hear my impression of... Well, before we do that, I want to give you my impression of Picard, what Picard would say in this screenshot.
Okay.
I don't do a good Picard, so I'm not going to try the voice, but...
No.
Okay.
You gotta do it. You
right.
Committed.
Who's that? Thank you. Because it doesn't look anything like Riker. What'd you think?
Wow. Is Patrick Stewart here? That was amazing. We've never had a guest before.
All right, you
Patrick?
do it. You do your Patrick Stewart asking who the hell that is.
Who the hell is that?
Okay, Sean Connery is just Patrick Stewart.
Yes, make it so. Yes, of course.
The Rock.
Been lovely to see you, Mr. Number One. Yes. Oh.
Now there's a little Mandy Patinkin in there. It's really, you're creating something special. All right.
Yeah, it's true. I can do Sean Connery.
Does it have the clear helmet? Is the question. Yes, it does.
I cannot do Picard. Yes. All right. So here is the answer to how the heck did he do that?
That's cool.
He says, if you remember the Buzz Lightyear movie that came out last summer, the figures from it are a close match to the new Playmates figures. So I did Picard and Riker in the first contact suits just doing a head swap and repainting it on Buzz. I'm going to do the same.
Wait, that's the Buzz Lightyear there?
That's the Buzz Lightyear there.
Oh, that's
repainted.
Cool. That's rad.
Which is really cool.
What a smart idea.
So smart and great that it came out in that scale. I mean, one of the great things about the customization is being able to not just kit bash from the Star Trek world, but all of the other action figure worlds. I mean, we've seen plenty of them come from the Space Quest world, the SeaQuest world.
Why not Space Quest?
Why not Space Quest?
How about Galaxy Quest? They made Galaxy Quest figures. They do.
Yeah, I wonder if they're in the same scale. But what was the Coneheads were a figure that definitely have been used before. So really cool, really smart, great paint job, and there it is. Like, it's very, very clearly the next gen movie spacesuit there in the 5-inch scale, which we've never had before.
It's almost, you could say, Keith, the customizers can pip and pop.
They can pip. Mike is desperately trying to make Pip and Pop a thing. Hashtag Pip and Pop. Guys, is Pip and Pop a thing?
Well, Poppin' Pimps is a thing. Oh, that's big on YouTube, but we're just pippin' and poppin'.
Poppin' Pimps?
Yeah, the Dr. Pimple Popper, it's real popular.
Oh, I was thinking the occupation popping them. How does that work? Like a lance running down Rochester, New York. All right. Where was I? Anyway, super cool. Thank you for sending that. You can check out all of the amazing figures that JD does on his YouTube channel, linked below. So now, we've gone original series. We've done next-gen movies. Let us jump forward to literally just a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to do one figure from Star Trek Picard Season 3. But I'm not going to tell Mike who this character is or anything like that.
All right.
But our good friend Chris Mitchell at CRM Productions has outdone himself again with the figure of Vadek.
Whoa.
Yeah, just take it all in, Mike.
First of all, his style in the creation, also the way he photographs, there's such a fingerprint, such a trademark, such a distinct style. I don't even need the artist on the top there. I could tell you right away who did this.
Oh, clearly.
And we always talk about the facial sculpt, which is insane here. But let's
instantly recognizable as Amanda Plummer.
Let's not sleep on how awesome the costuming is here. Like, is this a complete custom through and through? It must be, right?
Oh yeah. Oh no, of course. Yeah, this is all.
The costume is incredible.
The layering.
Are there more shots?
The sculpt?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, I mean, it's a fantastic costume. Period.
Wow.
And then to have
they should just sell
so
that.
well replicate. They should sell Chris's entire line. Like, somebody needs to give Chris the license. And
some subtle storytelling. I don't know this character, but I get a vibe because of the way the arm placement, the sort of kind of body posturing.
what's your vibe? All right, so here, this will be fun. Mike, explain to us the character of Vadek.
I'm thinking some sort of an antagonist, nefarious, maybe consumed with some sort of illness that is overtaking the body or has overcome something. That's the vibe I'm getting. Any truth to that?
Right, yeah. I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say, yeah, she's a baddie.
Yeah.
And
but oh so good, Keith. But so good.
But oh so good. And look at
that.
Chris's photography there. Being able to just put it into the background of the world there. I mean, I would love a book of Chris's photography.
Coffee table book, yeah.
Coffee table book of all of these figures with the backgrounds that he's put in here. So cool. So I don't want to give too much more about it, but I know that Chris is working on filling out. In fact, got an email today. Too late to put in the show, but from another friend building all of the season 3 Picard figures, and I saw another one on Facebook. So we're going to have a whole line of our original Next Gen cast in their Picard world.
That's cool.
In this scale of figure, which is going to be so much fun. So anyway, I believe Chris at CRM Customs, you can find him on Instagram at CRM Customs, is starting to take commissions again. He was full up for a while, and he I think announced it last week, so he may be full again because I'm sure he gets a boatload of commissions. But if you have the opportunity to have Chris do a figure for you, take it.
Has Chris sent in any of his abominations? Keith and I are still on the lookout for an abominations episode.
Yes, please send your the figures that didn't pan out, the horrible travesties of art, the abominations that should not live, that beg to be killed on your
transporter
shelf.
Accidents.
Yes. So like any figure that you made that turned out like the motion picture transporter goo, please send it to look at my Star
And I'm
Trek
still waiting
Toys
for my
at
Keiko.
gmail.com. You have a Keiko.
But wasn't there a specific one I wanted?
Yeah, you might have.
It was like Justice for Keiko for something. I can't remember,
but your memory of whatever we did, I guarantee, is better than our memory of anything that we did.
I just want a whole show. What if you came to my apartment and it was just all Keiko figures?
That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
That's a cool collection.
That's a great collection. It's oddly specific. I'm not sure how Jen would feel about it, but
you know Jen, she'd be supportive.
She'd be like, okay, that's great. Good for you. You have a hobby. She's the most supportive kind of person in history. All right. So thank you, Chris, for that. Didn't even send it. I just stole it. So now we have 2 last figures from a new friend, James, AKA Shammie Hax, who sent me his collection of customized figures, which is amazing. We're going to just sort of start pounding through various figures because he had like 100 something. So our new friend, James, AKA Shammie Hax, has an incredible collection of new custom figures. And he does them in a very special way. He says, so I have a bit of an odd obsession.
Can I show the first one?
All the... yeah, sure. I of course collect all the Playmates Treks figures and ships from the 90s and have them all loose. But my weird obsession is that I've worked to get as many of the figures possible autographed by the actors. I've got a few out for signing now. I live in Australia and I've had to mail everything to... There's a giant Australian Trek figure and customizer world out there. I'd love to go sometime. They seem like our people.
You know, Keith, in Australia, they don't pip and pop. They have to pop and pip because it's going the other way.
Thanks for that. So when I started running out of official figures to keep getting signed, I started making customs for the actors to sign, who never even got a figure. and should have, and the actors who had cameo roles and stuff like that. And
So smart.
I take it a step further as I repackage all of my customs. It started out, I made stickers, which look a little tacky to go over the names of the original backing card. So now I have designed a full custom backing card, front and back, and even had a packaging factory make me some replica blister bubbles so I don't have to keep cracking open figures to repurpose their bubbles. Holy poop. And so he has a ton of these. And so this is the first one, just because it made me laugh. It's Lieutenant Commander Argyle from season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation. A flawless figure of Argyle. And the back, the entire package is custom built. Like, from start to finish.
Welcome to the show, Shammie, because this is everything I love. As I've mentioned many times previously, I love the custom packaging. I love the figures placed back into the custom packaging seamlessly. I love the idea, we've talked about it, Keith, about some of the characters who didn't get a figure would be over the moon to just like it on Instagram or send an autograph or to see it or have it. So the fact that they're engaging the actors, I'm sure happily, putting them all together into one sort of process is so cool. What a cool collection and what a cool hobby.
It's really, really cool. And, of course, Argyle is famous for, backstage shenanigans, trying to get elevated, the actor trying to get elevated onto the show as a regular, didn't pan out.
And not only like what is one of the highlights of collection? Yes, completing, I guess, a collection. The search really is the itch for some other folks. But, rarity, you could talk about that. Most customs, when people do them, are one of a kind because, it's you just made it yourself. But then to have the actor autograph it, that really makes it rare and one of a kind. I'm not even talking about value, just for yourself to know you have the one of this is cool.
No, for sure. And I think that Argyle head is from a Sequest, but I think there I remember seeing it before that there is a figure out there that looks just like the guy who played Argyle. But I'm so impressed by two things. I mean, the figure of course looks fantastic, but the graphic design and the Photoshop work integrating him into, like, everything on that package is perfectly customized.
Yeah, it's great.
Including, it's got the sticker from the first season, it's got the custom made, but look at the back. He built the whole Argyle backstory, like the little card you cut out from the back of that. It's all in there flawlessly. And you see where it says the star, I'm pointing at my screen, you can't see my screen. But he's got, in the blue part there, where they have a little bit about that specific figure. That's that specific figure. That's all fully integrated and seamlessly integrated. And the next thing that I think is fantastic about this, what do we always complain about with these figures? It's them choking hazards not looking great. All of the choking hazards have been upgraded. Look at that. He's got them all painted with stickers. I don't know how he did it. But they're better. This is a better figure than they produced. While at the same time being flawlessly integrated into this.
Big fans. We're big fans.
Big fans. I'm really excited to dig into more from Shammie Hax here. It's really, really fantastic work. Really cool. And it's to have the complete figure, have the packaging, everything. You really could just do what we all wanted, and that is finish the line in a complete fashion. So our finale figure this week is from another show. Remember how we're spanning the whole universe of Star Trek? We're going to do a figure from a show that we rarely see on here because Playmates made no figures from Star Trek Enterprise, which of course premiered after Voyager.
Whole different box design. Oh my God, it's so cool.
It's okay. So he basically extrapolated and created an entire box design for the Star Trek Enterprise figures, including the Skybox card, designed all of it. The figure is perfect. It's unbelievable. It's a phenomenal figure, instantly recognizable as Trip, and so the front and the back of the box, the bubble. This one's signed by Connor Trenier, who plays Trip, who I would actually, James, like, email me. I want to know what the reactions of the actors were when they saw these figures, because I bet Connor was like, "Holy shit!"
Do you think he sent them the whole figure or just the box part to sign?
I bet he sent the whole thing,
and then they send it back.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I mean, if it were me and you made a me figure and they never did, you're not getting that back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes more. Maybe they. I don't know. What's the process? I'd love to know.
I'd love to know what their reactions were and what the process.
Also, can
was.
I level a detail critique?
Uh-oh.
Just saying. For me, I want the retail cutout so that we can imagine there's 45 of them put on the shelf.
Oh, okay. For the hook.
For the hook. That's it. That's it.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Unless this was a mail away. Perhaps it was a mail away. It was a mail away, it wouldn't have had a retail hook.
It's an exclusive.
You're right. I take it. You know what?
I retract. It's like a Toy Fair exclusive.
I
retract that, sir. But I have to say, like, the figure, the work on the figure to make it look that good. I don't know how you did that. What the base was. I have no idea. But it's perfect.
Do you have flawless. A Bakula? Because I love Scott Bakula. My Mike is a huge Bakula fan. What do we got?
I think there's a good chance there's a Bakula.
Oh no, Keith, you haven't. You're holding out on me.
I'm not. Well, maybe we'll show it next week or the next time we do a customs. Maybe. But I gotta say, the graphic design work is excellent.
Yeah, it's really good.
As someone who also dabbles in the graphic design world, it's really excellent. The back there is so cohesive. It feels exactly where Playmates would have gone with the Enterprise designs. Like, I think it's flawless. It really is. And
it's got a
has
skew.
Continued. Yeah, it's got a barcode. Yeah. I wonder what the barcode goes to. The whole thing. It's so incredibly well done. The details, extraordinary. So
good.
Thank you so much for sending this along. James, you are welcome on the show anytime. We want more information. We will definitely keep showing your figures. You sent the whole archive, and it was really fun to jump through and pick random ones to.
Yeah, we should
here.
go. We did one of my favorite episodes when we were able to sit down with Chris, and it would be nice to be able to maybe chat with somebody else. I know it goes against everything we stand for to do interviews, but it'd be cool to maybe have a chit chat with some creators and put together a little round table.
So much effort.
Yeah,
that's so. Yeah,
it'd be worth it.
No, 100%. People are tired of us. So, thank you so much for watching this next episode of Customs here on Look at My Star Trek Toys. While you're here, make sure to give it a like, give it a subscribe, join our Patreon at patreon.com/K&M. Check out Keith and Mike watch Deep Space Nine. So much fun. K&M Geekly, where we talk about all sorts of other nonsense. And we will be back next week with a very unique episode of Look at My Star Trek Toys. Because, wait for it, we are going to be crossing over. Now, not just crossing over from one Star Trek show to another Star Trek show. Will we be crossing over into the dark side for real? And crossing into a little bit of Star Wars? Stay tuned. We will see you back next week. Till then, this has been Look at My Star Trek Toys!